Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, it's Scott Hammond with the 100% Humboldt podcast with my new best friend, the woman, the myth, the legend, Natalie Arroyo. Hi, Natalie.
I love being introduced that way. Hello, Scott.
How's your day?
Oh, it's going great. It's been a zooming all over Humboldt kind of day.
Oh, really? Like in a car or in a computer zooming?
Oh, both actually. Yeah, that's a pretty common day for me. Zipping around to meetings in real life and then zooming across the airwaves, I guess.
Yeah, that happens. And here's one more.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, we won't zoom until Monday. But that's
okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah. So name, rank, and serial number. What do you do? What's your job? What's your role? Who are you?
Yeah.
Natalie Arroyo.
Do you want all the hats? Let's see. I'll start by saying I play roller derby, because you mentioned that already.
Right.
Before we got on the air. So that's my first. I'll wear my helmet first. So I play with Humboldt roller derby. It's a big part of what I love about this community. And then in addition to that, something that people might know about me is that I'm a Humboldt County Supervisor representing District 4, the district we are in. And let's see.
Probably the latter one would be the one I would recognize.
The roller derby identity? Okay.
That's the form. The latter. No, the supervisor.
Yeah, I also serve in the Coast Guard, and then I teach one class at Cal Poly Humboldt, but I've been faculty there for quite a few years now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We just had Dr. Richard on. He was great.
Oh, yeah.
What a great dude.
Yeah. That's great.
He's going to take it next level.
Awesome.
So, raised on roller derby in San Diego.
I love that.
San Francisco Bay Bombers.
Yes.
And the LA T-Birds would come down and they would roller derby in San Diego Sports Arena.
Yeah. Was that bank track, not flat track?
Bank.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's very rare these days, although there are still a few banked tracks around the country. One's in San Diego, another one in, I think, Michigan. There's a few left.
It was sort of the WWF of its day.
Yeah.
They had hollow briefcases. They would hit each other and coaches get crazy.
Yeah, we don't do it that way anymore. It's like a real sport now. So I kind of wish they'd renamed it when it was resuscitated in the early 2000s. I wish that it had gotten a new name so that we could get some more respect as a real sport, you know.
So you know Paul Brissou, your announcer?
Yeah, love Paul.
He and I went to Humboldt together.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
You both have that great announcer voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah. Guys and gals.
He's gotten a good education in the modern sport of flat track roller derby. He's been a good student of the sport. And they've gotten a lot of awards for covering it. So it's been really cool.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Kudos to Paul.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell us the Natalie story. Where were you born? Where were you raised? And how'd you get to Humboldt?
Yeah, this is all the questions, the security questions.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kind of.
I'll give everyone the security question answers. I was born in Miami. My dad was in the Air Force. And so I lived near or at a lot of Air Force bases.
Wow.
But so at Homestead Air Force Base at the time was near Miami before Hurricane Andrew pretty much obliterated it. And so we lived in Miami at the time. And let's see, then I went to high school in Central Florida on the coast, on the Atlantic coast, right near Kennedy Space Center.
Wow.
So a lot of my friends' parents worked at NASA. So that was cool.
Have you seen liftoffs?
Oh, many. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, it got very commonplace to the point where, you know, as commonplace as little bitty earthquakes are here was how it felt. Like, one time I remember my mom was really waiting for an important piece of mail and she kept hearing little sounds and thinking that it was the mail arriving. And she kept asking me, is that the mail? And I said, no, Mom, I think it was just the space shuttle taking off. So that's how commonplace it was. It's just, we didn't even go outside.
So irritating.
So annoying. Not even the mailman.
Again, that thing. Did you go to school there too?
I went to school. Yep. I graduated from University of Florida in Gainesville. So North Florida. And then I moved to Louisiana after that. Planning to pursue my master's degree there. And then I must just be a little bit of a hurricane magnet because Hurricane Katrina hit a few months after I moved there. So I moved to Humboldt from New Orleans.
There's a change.
Yeah, it was a big change. Yeah.
So what did you study in Florida?
I actually studied international relations and political science, not thinking that I would ever end up in politics as a career. I liked government, but I wasn't thinking that I would necessarily run for office. Yeah.
So we have 9 kids. My son Jesse studied that at University of Pacific.
Awesome. Yeah. I think a lot of parents maybe aren't thrilled if their kid's going to study political science. It's hard to think about the applicability, but I think it was helpful to.
It's pretty broad, right?
Study governance. Yeah, I got a chance to study abroad and actually intern in the European Union system and be sort of like a court runner type.
And travel over there?
Young person. Yeah, in Belgium when I was in the early 2000s. So that was really exciting.
We love Belgium. We've been there.
Yeah.
To Ghent and to Bruges.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I lived in Brussels for several months. So
I bet that was cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, big city.
Big city, yeah.
My daddy was in the Air Force too.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right, both Air Force brats.
Yep, Army Air Corps in World War II.
Okay,
He flew P-51s.
Yeah. I've got a big Air Force and Army family. I'm the only coastie though, but I joke with my Air Force family that, well, at least I'm wearing blue, so.
That's right. We love our coasties.
Yeah.
You're in reserves, right?
I am, yes.
Which is, what's that duty look like? Do you go monthly, daily?
It's usually a week and a month and then 2 weeks of training a year. Although for most of us in the Coast Guard's so small, a lot of and on the officer side in particular, it ends up being more work than that. When you're supervising people or working on projects or getting additional training. So it's always been more than that for me.
So Group Humboldt Bay.
No, I've never been attached to Humboldt. Actually, that's not true. During COVID,
that's right. AI says you're part of that other group that does like pollution and other emergent.
Yeah, AI is not too far off. I was at the Pacific Strike team in Nevada for several years.
It's right here.
Yeah. Your notes are.
That's right. So
pretty close.
So do you go down there, or do you go? Stay there?
There's no billets for non-pilots who are officers up here and reservists. So there's not a way that I could be an officer and be in the reserves here. We're just too small up here. So.
It's such a great bunch of coasties that we've known.
Yeah. Although, over the years, I've done some duty up at Sector Humboldt Bay by the airport, and have spent some time there recently. So yeah.
So I have kind of an adjacent surprise for you a little later when we do the remember the bell thing.
Yes.
So she asked about the bell, and she will find out. So we had our very good friend Gary Todoroff was the very first ever Coast Guard official photographer.
Oh, how cool.
Captain Durfee, who's an amazing guy. Bob was a helo pilot in McKinleyville, and then he was the cap. And he got Gary to put through the system as the first ever photographer.
Oh, very neat.
Official.
I love that.
Yeah. We'll sit on that for a minute. So stay with that one for a minute.
Okay.
Anyway, so where'd you go after? So you came to Humboldt. What got you here from Louisiana?
It was actually an AmeriCorps program, the Watershed Stewards program, which is still in existence. It's slightly morphed, and now they have a closer relationship with the California Conservation Corps. So they're a special program of the CCC. But I came out to Petrolia from New Orleans to do fisheries science and fisheries restoration, so on the Mattole River. And I lived out there for a year and a couple months, and then I moved to town, so to speak. After that, I moved to Eureka.
Honeydew.
Yeah, right. Well, going to town when you live in Petrolia is often, Ferndale or Garberville. So I spent a lot of time at the, Chautauqua Market and maybe like Ray's Food Place in Fortuna, because that was the closest grocery store. That
groceries.
That's
so funny.
Considerable size.
So authentic hill people, like in the backwoods of Petrolia.
Yeah. It was quite the experience. I didn't know anything about Humboldt County before moving here. And I moved here in January of 2006. Wow. So kind of the heyday of cannabis in southern Humboldt and in rural Humboldt. But so I was I had a lot to learn. I was a little green.
Hey, y'all.
And I don't mean green in that particular way.
That's funny. I like what you did with that.
Yeah.
You came into the wild, wild west.
It really was interesting. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. So I moved with like one carload of stuff, and I was considered, essentially like a Hurricane Katrina refugee of sorts. Sure. I mean, I had not been impacted the way that many people had been impacted, but I did live in the city after the hurricane for another 5-6 months before moving out here. So
I bet that was rough.
Yeah. My neighbors and all just kind of shared a generator, but it was also very communal. People are really looking out for each other. I think in disaster and hardship, there's always that kind of community element and strength that shows up.
Yeah. I want to go to New Orleans sometime. I want to go to the Jazz Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it. Have you been?
It's funny. When I lived there, I was like, I'm not sure that I was drawn to the big events. And I think a lot of locals, depending on what they're into, kind of tend to leave town to let tourists kind of take over during that time frame. So no, I've never been, but I've gone back several times. My sister lives in Louisiana now, just a little bit outside of New Orleans. So just was there in January for my nephew's wedding.
That would be fun. I would never traveled there. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'd love the architecture. So for me, when I travel, I want to eat good food. I want to see new and interesting architecture.
Yeah.
Since I have lived there before, it's kind of nostalgic to go back, but it's a great city.
We just got back from Spain, so there was some architecture.
Yeah, absolutely. What part of Spain were you in?
Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca, which is the island.
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Wonderful.
And Alicante.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I almost got to go to Cartagena, but they
Oh,
closed the port for some reason. So
yeah.
I had 2 words: mango gelato.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I love gelato.
And the coffee.
You make me
truck
hungry
stop.
for gelato.
Oh, it's so good.
I may have to pick up some on the way home.
They have it's all fresh, and there's 100 of them, and you go, wow, what do I do?
Yeah, too many gelaterias. It's a real problem.
A gelateria, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, I have a lot of my family. My dad was Puerto Rican, and a lot of my family trace our lineage to Burgos, which is in kind of central, a little bit northern Spain.
Okay.
It's the capital, ancient capital of Castile. So it was the capital of Spain for some time.
It's a fascinating country.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and Gaudi, the artist,
Yeah,
that
amazing.
created the Sangria Familia, the giant cathedral.
Yeah.
Not a cathedral, it's a basilica.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the difference is, but
Good question. That's a good one for the listeners.
good art.
Let us know what the difference between a cathedral and a basilica is.
Right?
Yeah.
Write that down, folks. Hey, if you're just joining us, my new best friend, Natalie Arroyo. And Natalie, tell me, so District 4 Supervisor, but first tell us about your adventure on Eureka City Council.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was on the Eureka City Council for 8
I did
years.
that. Oh, that was 8 years.
It was a nice long 8 years. It felt like it was all of my 30s, really, almost all of my 30s.
Is it blurry now, or do you remember it?
Oh, I remember
clearly?
it very well. Yeah.
Who did you run against initially?
Chet Albin.
Okay. No, Chet?
Yeah.
Hi, Chet.
Hi, Chet. Yeah. I ran for that seat. He was running unopposed, and I threw my hat in the ring.
Wow.
And
you won.
Yeah.
Rad.
I did the campaigning. It was a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I do like to say that I earned it, because
A lot of door to door.
each time I've run for office, except this last time, which we'll probably get to. So I ran 3 times for Eureka City Council twice, and then Humboldt County Board of Supervisors in contested races. And there is a ton of door knocking, a lot of talking with voters. You really have to spend the time talking to voters.
Yeah.
Don't tell people that that's the secret.
Yeah. That's
People will spend money on anything else except
hard work.
Yeah, that it's really you kind of can't skimp on the work.
Gosh, it's so true. I tell my kids that. It's like my son wants to buy a house. I go, you got to show up for work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
and then again the next day.
Yeah.
And you got to build on it.
Yeah. I think with campaigning, folks tend to talk to whoever wants to talk to them, which is good and important. But you also kind of have to strategize about who your voters are, and it's kind of a numbers game. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed kind of getting into the campaigning approach, and also the one-on-one conversations that I get to have with people when I'm doing that.
So is some of it marketing too, and being a genius marketer?
I think you have to be good and comfortable with talking about yourself, which is awkward for some. It's awkward for me. Maybe some people just love it and they feed on the attention. I think I'm not that particular type of person.
It's adaptive behavior.
I have to sort of get out there and it's like a constant job interview.
Yeah.
I find it both rewarding and exhausting. So,
sure.
It's been a process to get comfortable with it.
I think I've learned a lot of the best salespeople are really introverts.
Oh,
But
interesting.
they've had to adapt because they like to make money and feed their families.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they can really bust it open and then go home and hide.
Yeah. And the thing about running for office is like you're really talking about some of your deepest held values and dreams for your community, and it's very vulnerable.
I was going to say.
And then you expose yourself to the most overt and kind of heinous criticism all the time, and just go, yep, this is part of the job description.
Yep.
So it's very interesting.
Right.
It's not for the faint of heart.
That is a different job. Yeah. You really like the San Diego Chargers. What's wrong with you? We're Niner fans. Yeah. So whatever it might be. Huh.
Yeah. And I think most people think that like politicians are inherently evil and sadistic people or egomaniacs. And I just really wanted to be able to represent my community and bring my skills to the fore. And when I first ran for office, I just bought my first home in Eureka that I still live in. And, I just kind of wanted to take my investment in the community a step further. That by no means that I think people have to be a homeowner to be a successful,
But you have skin in the game.
But it helped to feel like, okay, I'm really rooted here in this place, and getting involved in sort of place-based politics was an extension of that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that council. So who'd you run against second time?
Well, the second time I was the incumbent. So I had, let's see, John Fullerton ran against, was it John Fullerton? Yeah, it was John Fullerton, Jeannie Breslin, and one other candidate, and I'm forgetting them. But there was a 4-way race.
Oh, wow.
So that was an interesting one. Yeah.
And that council, the city council's done a lot of stuff in the last 12 years, right?
Yes, absolutely. Whether some people like it, some people don't.
Tell us more.
It's been a pretty active.
It's true, right?
I took pride in not beating around the bush. We'll just say that. I wanted to get some things done, and sometimes it's interesting to see the trajectory of how long it takes to actually get things done, even if you make pretty proactive choices and decisions. Like a lot of the affordable housing that's being constructed right now this summer all over town, came out of decisions that happened while I was in the council. So it took an extra 4 or 5 years beyond those, those yeses happening at the council level for the projects to actually see the light of day. So
speaking of the project right by McRae Nissan, they just pulled the screens off, and the high rise looks really good.
It looks nice, yeah.
Dang,
and the one on Myrtle too, yeah. I think it's coming along.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, show me the parking, but I think it's going to be really weird and tight for a while. But we'll figure it out.
I think at least one of those is a senior affordable complex, if I remember correctly. Not to say that seniors don't drive, but some don't. Yeah. Same with the student housing that Cal Poly Humboldt developed. I've actually had a number of students who live there and who moved up here without cars, and they're very happy. So it's cool. Kind of interesting to meet people who are making that work.
What are some of the accomplishments from that city council that they're still reaping?
Good question. You were part of? I think the strategic arts plan that we developed was really cool. It was interesting to dig into the economic value of the arts in the community, and not just the cultural value, which is there's a ton of it, but also like how many, we have so many artists per capita here.
Yeah.
Many people that make their living in some way through the arts, and how they make it work and how the city could support them more. I think, we're still seeing some of that blossom.
What does that look like specifically? Did they have grants or
Well, the Eureka Street Art Festival came from that, which was all, a public-private collaboration. So the city did a lot of the organizing, but there were volunteer festival organizers for much of that time. And then all of the funding for the murals came from donations from the local community and regionally. And it was cool to bring world-class artists here and participate in that. And I think it got people really jazzed about some parts of town that they might not spend a lot of time in. So even though people kind of poo-poo the arts as a big driver of change, I think it really brought people together.
That's a good one. I like that. And then there's Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne. Love Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
Did you go to his birthday party?
Yeah. My family was in town from Louisiana. They were like, what is this?
What are you guys doing here?
You guys are wild.
This thing's on fire. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They came at a good time. They got to go to Oyster Fest. stop by that. Just really see a lot of the best of Humboldt. It was really
Kinetic
cool.
Sculpture Race, were they there for that?
They weren't there for that. It was in mid-June, early to mid-June, but it was really neat to.
Wow.
It's always neat when you have people come to town when you live here and you kind of forget about some of the things that are so cool.
And they see it.
They see it, very clearly.
And you can see it through their eyes.
Yeah. So neat. Yeah, we took them tide pooling, and my husband's a marine biologist, so it's he's the best person to go tide pooling with.
Oh, I bet.
I'm a little biased, but he really does.
I was going to say the very best or the very worst.
I know. If you don't want science facts the whole time, then it would be the worst. Right. If you just want to quietly enjoy the beach, it's not going to happen.
We love the Marine Lab when we go to Trinidad. It's so much fun. So what else did you guys do as the city council that you're proud of?
I think one of the things that I'm most proud of was the transfer of and return of land to the Wiyot tribe on Tuluwat. That was, something that I didn't campaign on by any means or set out to do, but it emerged from conversations with the tribe and the tribal council at the time, and it ended up being, feasible and a source of great community joy and healing. So that was a point of pride, and just honored to be a part of it.
Cool. Yeah. And then the bike lane too, right on what street?
H&I. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's those, but isn't there the bike street that goes all the way down?
The bike boulevard on C Street.
C Street. Thank you.
Yep. That was, that was after my time, but the council adopted that after I was already gone. But I actually ride that almost every day when the weather's good. I am a fair weather bicyclist, so I ride it regularly, we'll say that.
So AI says that you're a trails advocate, so that's a good thing.
I'm a big trails enthusiast.
Were you part of the Arcata Eureka Trail connection?
Yeah, both at the county, and then prior to being at the county, I worked for a nonprofit locally called Redwood Community Action Agency, and we did a lot of development of trails all around Humboldt County. So I've worked on a ton of trails over the years. Yeah. A lot of the planning and the fundraising, and
thank you for doing that.
Thanks. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. It gives me joy to be able to have that beautiful view of the bay. And
we're waiting for Arcata to Blue Lake.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool. There's some logistical challenges getting across the river.
Right.
And I think it may be an opportunity to collaborate with the water district, but TBD. Yeah.
So Great Redwood Trail too. That's happening.
Yeah.
Were you part of that? Did you collaborate on that?
I've worked I've worked on some early stages of planning for the Great Redwood Trail when I was still at RCAA, but a lot of that also kind of happened after I left, but I'm eager to see what comes of that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I was on the board, and I ended up being thrust into the role of board president of the Humboldt Trails Council for quite a few years. I was on the board for, I think, 9 years, and I was the president for 5 or so.
Do you know my buddy Reese?
Yeah, know Reese well.
Reese Hughes, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hi, Reese.
Hi, Reese.
I did it. I looked at the camera.
And pointed. Hi, Reese.
Hi, Reese.
I saw Reese's picture. He's on, I was at the post office as a wanted criminal. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow.
No, he's on the board of Coast Central.
Yeah. Wanted for being too good a trail advocate.
Oh, man. Every time he sees Joni, where's Scott? Why isn't he hiking today? I was busy doing a podcast.
I just went on a hike with Reese and several other folks of the Lost Coast in Petrolia. So headed from the Mattole campground, mouth of the river to the lighthouse and back.
Rad.
And actually, we went up and around and over the bluff, which was both beautiful and a little miserable. It was quite steep.
Because it goes like that, right?
Yeah, it was very steep. I had forgotten that.
Slept at that lighthouse before.
Yeah.
In big gale winds. It's crazy.
I was very windy while we were there, but there were so many elephant seals. It was really cool.
I heard that. Yeah. My friend David just hiked it. So I want to go back to Humboldt real quick and then talk about your Coast Guard service. So
sounds good.
What do you teach at Humboldt?
I teach environmental conflict resolution. So it's a conflict resolution class specifically for environmental science students and forestry students and folks who are having to do that in the sciences. So I use examples and have guests come in who are able to talk about that particular lens on conflict, which there's, nonstop conflict.
Do they have conflict out there?
Amazingly. And it's, I think it gets people to think about the human element and how they can, I think students walk away from it hopefully with a new set of skills and ways to think about it, but also a way to be a little bit more patient and compassionate with people when they're stressed out.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, when you're a decision maker or you're involved in decision making in any way, there's just a lot of strong feelings and a lot of, you have to kind of stick with it and get through it together.
Yeah. After talking to Wes Chesbrough as a guest, it occurred to me that he was part of so many things that were pretty radical in the day that we take for granted now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Recycling and trails and the Marsh Project and Arcade at Redwood Park. And he had conflict.
Yeah.
I imagine some gross conflict at times. And so I really, I look back and I go, to your point, not all politicians are evil people. Any that I've met actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think most of us come to it because we really care about our community and think, we have some skills that we can apply. I think it's kind of simple for most folks. And then along the way, some people get a little lost and others, kind of stay on that path. Yeah. The Humboldt Bay Trail was highly controversial over the years, with the railroad and a lot of the other.
Not no more.
Not anymore. Now it's, I saw some people, I think they were preparing for the Humboldt Bay Marathon. There was a large group of runners and
Terry.
Love Terry. Yeah, I'm going to volunteer for the marathon this year. We're going to have an aid station.
Oh, good.
Are you a runner?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm married to one.
Yeah. I appreciate runners. My dad was a marathoner, but
I'm a swimmer.
Not into it. Yeah, I'm a skater.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. Or a runner.
Definitely not a runner.
No, I have 2 new hips from Stanford.
Oh, congratulations.
It's ill-advised.
Okay.
I suppose I could, but...
Do you feel a little bit bionic or...
At times. Okay. Depends on my mood. That's I've never been asked that. Do you feel bionic today? Well, maybe. A little. I'm moving kind of bionic. I'm doing the robot.
I love it.
Oh, that's funny. So, hey, it's time for the quiz.
Okay. Can I take a sip of my coconut water?
Well, you're going to need it because this is going to be the best quiz ever. And then I want to come back and talk about your supervisorial duties and accomplishments.
All right. Sounds good.
Are you ready? Because I've never done this before.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, it's Scott Hammond with the 100% Humboldt podcast with my producer, the amazing Nick Flores. I see him over there. And I see Natalie Arroyo, who is the 4th District 4. Would I say 4th District or District 4?
Either one.
Supervisor in Humboldt County. And we're going to use the prop here where I don't have my pointer. Oh, Nick, he buried it in the Dick Taylor box. So Humboldt County is in California. We're sitting here in Eureka, and that's where we live. I guess you know that. So rather than you competing today for a Dick Taylor chocolate bar, I brought something very special instead.
Okay.
You're going, oh, where's this going?
I do love chocolate, though. Okay, that's all right.
Well,
that's all right.
We'll see. So I brought something special for you. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
You're going, okay, just show it to me.
I don't know. The buildup is exciting. It's thrilling.
So this is a historical document of the waterfront dedication, January 5th, 2002. I think we dedicated the waterfront and made us a Coast Guard city in the same thing, but I could be wrong.
And no, that's correct.
But I'm going to give this to you if you win.
Eureka was the 2nd Coast Guard city designated in the nation.
In the nation, okay.
Yeah.
And my friend Gary, shout out to Gary Todoroff, who just perished last year. He was the official Coast Guard.
Wow, look at the building wasn't even there yet.
It wasn't even built, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be yours for whatever purpose you may have for it.
Okay.
I'm going to put it right here.
Only if I win, though, right?
You have to win. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing's.
Can't just give
don't
it
get carried
to me.
away here because you. Am I going to? Is the prop going to work?
Do you want me to just hold it? I'm really good at holding.
I'm going to make this work.
Things.
See,
okay.
there, works.
Wonderful.
Isn't that? It's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's all mounted and maybe it's going to be yours. So, question number 1. Natalie Arroyo, question 1. Best day ever.
Best day ever?
Ever.
Okay, there's no right answer here. I think my wedding day to my husband. I know that's a little boring, but it was awesome.
The marine biologist.
Yeah, and knife maker.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Does he have a name?
His name's Jason Lopiccolo.
Hey, Jason, what's up?
Yeah.
All right.
Very
nice guy.
Yeah, he's the best. He's a very Sicilian name.
How long have you guys been married?
We're going on 7 years this end of this month.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you meet him up here?
I did. Yeah. We met at a 4th of July party that our friends had in their yard. And anyway, I was like, who's that guy? And I did a little sleuthing because it's a small town. And I asked all the other people that knew him. And then they just immediately tried to set us up. And
of course,
our first date was at the Humboldt County Fair. So we had a very
nice
Humboldt romance.
Well, I like that.
Yeah. Got married at Pamplin Grove.
Oh, very beautiful. I love that place.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. Okay, question number 2. Got to get the bell going. Worst day ever.
Oof. Probably the day my dad died. Yeah, it was October in 2011, and he died of brain cancer.
Ouch.
We were very close.
Sorry, were you guys close?
We were. Yeah. I was like his little clone, kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had a very close relationship, and he was a big positive influence in my life. Yeah. I
love it.
Yeah.
I have 4 daughters, and I make an investment. I try to do it every day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, I don't see them, but I talked to Brianna in Medford today.
Yeah.
And the boys are in the back. Hey, Grandpa, what's up?
Yeah. It's good to make the best of the time, make the most of it. He was only 59, so we didn't get as much. I was 27, and we didn't get as much time together as I would have hoped. But we got some really good quality in there.
Amen to that. I like it. Okay, question number 3.
Okay,
I'm going to bring the bell closer.
I know. It's like you're really reaching for it.
He's going to really rap on this bell now.
Yeah. Okay.
Question number 3. What do you find soul crushing?
Soul crushing.
Or draining?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes our board meetings, is that wrong to say?
That's an honest answer. You heard it here first.
Answer. Yeah. I mean, sometimes...
I get bored watching you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the procedural issues where we're trying to work through a procedural issue in real time. You know what I think it reveals, though, is even when it's like a grindingly slow pace and people just are like rolling their eyes at us, it reveals that government is messy and it's being figured out by humans in real time. There's no secret cabal behind the scenes pulling the strings,
hurry.
trying to direct us.
Right.
We're really just like regular people trying to get through a difficult decision. So it's both soul crushing, and I think it's a sign of it working kind of the way it's intended.
And same people saying the same things sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Exhausting.
Wait, were you on last week? I saw you you're on TV a lot because you're always saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Interesting. Arcata the Arcata City Councils, I find particularly hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah. Eureka too. I think Eureka and Arcata both get a lot of public participation, but also sometimes it's people who don't really know a lot about the process. And I also think that form of education is important, but sometimes it can just be hard to be the one on the dais and through it.
I bet. Yeah. And people get kind of rude sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Horrible. Yeah.
Where's your decorum, man? Yeah.
I think they forget that we're like people that live in the same community they do, that are just, kind of trying to figure it out too.
Come on, man. You're human beings. Let me talk to you guys that do that stuff. Let me say something to you right now. Okay. Question number 4. Almost went off track there.
Yeah.
What do you find fulfilling? Enriching, heart-drenching, glorious.
Yeah.
What fills your cup?
It really is spending time in the natural world for me. Paddleboarding.
Paddleboarder.
Trail skating, backpacking. I go mushroom hunting in the winter.
Did you say trail skating?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
just like
that?
roller skating on the trail.
How? They must be giant.
On roller skates.
Like standard skates?
Yeah, they have like squishy wheels. I have a separate pair of skates for roller derby and for skating outdoors, just because we'd want different wheel hardnesses.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they work like in a redwood forest?
Oh, no. Like a paved trail.
Like a paved. Got it.
So like the Humboldt Bay Trail is one of my go-tos,
Okay. And that would be different from an indoor track.
Yeah. There's little pebbles and grit and stuff. So you want.
Did you ever do any dancing with roller derby? I mean, where you
I haven't done a lot of like jam
couples
skating or roller dancing.
with Jason, you and Jason on
maybe
skates.
eventually. Yeah.
See-
I did propose to him at a roller derby game, and then we put skates on him and we did a lap together. It was a
Oh.
couple skate in front of all our friends. It was a whole production. So,
I bet.
Yeah.
I was raised by a roller derby or roller skating rink.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Me too. In Miami, I went to the roller skating rink all the time, and it was like the hippest place to be.
National City, California, Sweetwater Roller Rink.
Love it.
Yeah.
It was Hot Wheels in Miami, Florida for me.
Hot Wheel.
Ooh, Hot Wheels.
Disco.
Yeah.
All right. A question number, whatever it is.
5?
Yeah, pretty close. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh gosh, I'm not even going to get this one right. It's rough.
There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer.
I think I'm just Natalie Arroyo. I do like to roll the R's in my last name when I get the opportunity to
Can you roll it
introduce
again one
myself.
more time?
Arroyo.
Arroyo.
It's like a gentle, oh, you did great.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you bilingual?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, that was well done.
I should have spoken more Spanish in Spain, though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of SPs.
When I go to Puerto Rico, I really enjoy like leaning into it. I heard I was spoken to in Spanish and then I answered in English, which I regret that my folks didn't have me speak more Spanish at home. But
Yeah.
I can speak it when I kind of lock in and just commit. And
That's it.
it's a lot of times well, I have the same problem in English that I have in Spanish, where sometimes I can't think of a word, so I just describe it with other words.
Okay.
I do a lot of that in Spanish, but I get by pretty well.
Okay. So I know who you are, but I want to re-ask, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you really?
Who am I really?
Yeah, what are you all about?
I'm kind of a dork.
Okay. Dork is good.
Yeah,
Who's not a dork?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we're all dorks in our own way,
We could use a few more dorks out there.
Yeah.
Self-admitted dorks.
Yeah. I really like reading. I like my dogs. I'm actually a little bit, maybe not boring, but I have a very like just regular person life in my opinion, but then other people will see my life and be like, "Oh, you have such
You're
an
amazing.
exciting life."
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a workaholic.
Okay.
But I really enjoy working, and I think that's where what I mean when I say I'm a
Right.
dork. Like, I love the work that I get to do. So
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, and I love travel. I think I'm kind of just a regular human,
Yeah.
but I also love very deeply, and
That's
that can
cool.
be
That's a good admission. I like
can be
that.
hard.
Oh my gosh, because you get hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
used to wish I could be more cool and detached
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah, forget those
but-
guys.
Yeah,
But love hurts.
yeah.
I like the song.
I'm both enthusiastic and loving, and I think sometimes people are like, "Whoa, that's a lot."
Yeah, she's
So,
a lot. Well, that's
She's a
good.
lot.
That's who you are.
That's what I'm. Yeah. So I think I would say I'm a lot.
Who are you? I'm a lot. Yeah, I'm a lot. Could both be a lot. Last question for all the fabulous prizes.
Oh my gosh, I'm staring at the prize.
So Joni's dad was this amazing guy, my father-in-law, Tom, from LA.
Okay.
He's a runner and an addict and pharmacist and great-grandpa and father.
Yeah.
So his two questions are, who are you? Got that? The corollary is, what do you want?
Yeah.
Hey, Arroyo, what do you want? What do you want?
I want to just really apply myself the best I can in the life that I have, and love on the people that are dear to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I just
Well, it pleasures me to tell you that after due consideration, the judge panel says that you're going to take this home with you.
okay.
And I don't know where you'll put it. That's maybe a garage photo, or that could go in your office.
Yeah.
But on
I think it'll go in my office actually.
behalf of 100% Humboldt,
Yeah.
you're going to be the new winner of this Eureka Boardwalk dedication. 2002, folks. How many
Yeah.
years ago was that?
24. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I
By
love it.
Gary Todoroff, who was an amazing local photographer dude. And the more I look at this, there's a lot going on in
There
here.
is a lot going
I'm
on.
going to
Yeah.
quit staring at it.
It's very clearly raining in the picture. There's a lot of people in with umbrellas and
the
rain
rainers.
jackets. So
Yeah.
it's very Humboldt.
Everybody's lined up here. They kind of knew, because look at them all looking up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think could that be a helo shot from a
It
dolphin?
might have been a helicopter. Yeah, because I don't think it would have been a drone back then, right?
No, they didn't have them. Well, that we know about.
It could have been like a camera on a remote control airplane.
Could have been.
Could have been.
He had a gyro that he created for the dolphin helicopters.
Oh, cool.
So that it wouldn't blur. So it kind of would move with the helo.
Yeah.
Kind of
awesome.
cool.
Oh, those helicopters are great.
I know. So let's talk about your Board of Supervisor duties.
Yeah, sure.
And what do you like? What do you don't like? What are you all about today? What's happening?
Yeah. Well, I've really sought in the last couple of years to get into as many different things there as possible. Especially in my first term, I really wanted to understand all the functions of the county that are much broader than what cities do. So I serve on a juvenile justice and delinquency prevention commission.
Oh, wow.
I work on the First 5 Humboldt Commission, which deals with, the children 0 to 5 years old and their families.
Love that.
Lots of different things that I didn't really get to do at the city level because I think I developed over 8 years, I don't want to be overconfident, but I developed a pretty good sense of things like public works or, some of the like municipal finance on a basic level. Of course, the county is much more complicated in that regard, but and I serve on the audit committee, so a lot of different areas where I'm trying to broaden and deepen my knowledge, and that has been really rewarding. Again, the dork in me is like, oh, this is great. I'm learning more about different things.
Gonna nerd up on it all.
Yeah, it's great. So I've been really enjoying that. That's rewarding. It's what I would consider boring but important. It's I think it's really critical because we're expected to make decisions about so many different things in a competent manner. And usually we have a pretty good staff recommendation, but I still think it's helpful to really get it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
I think that's something I've been both enjoying and been proud of is really, I wouldn't say I'm ever going to like have a sense of mastery, but a sense of competence in a lot of different areas.
What's the vibe on the board now? Are you guys all great friends drinking beer together, or how does that all work? Why don't you comment on the dynamics between certain individuals?
Yeah, I think we are all very different people, and I think that's good.
Yeah.
From a governance standpoint, I think it's good for people to see that like their representatives really are true to their districts. And I think when you look at the character of the different districts, we have kind of one of a lot of different types of people and different skill sets. And
tell me about your district. Where's it bordered?
Yeah, my district is the smallest geographically, so it's a lot of the city of Eureka, but not all of it. Then Myrtletown and the Samoa Peninsula south of the bridge. So Samoa, Fairhaven, and Finntown. Yeah, Finntown's just that tiny little
Finntown
nugget over there.
And then Danco owns Samoa.
Yeah, although it's slowly being, not so slowly, it's being sold off to private owners. And so that's an interesting process to divide up a company town. We saw it happen in Scotia, and now it's in the midst of happening in Samoa.
Dan's going to be on the show next month.
Oh, cool.
Do you know Dan?
What's funny is I don't really know him personally. I know I've worked on things alongside him for many years.
I was blown away in Rotary how much housing they've put together in the Western states. It's like, what? How many units? Yeah. It's wild stuff.
And we're about to break ground. I'm the board chair of the Humboldt Transit Authority. And that's one of the many like boards and commissions that I sit on in my county role. And we're about to break ground on the transit center.
That's going to be big stuff.
And housing with Dan. So, yeah.
That's right behind Lost Coast Brewery.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about that real quick. Just the highlights. What's that going to do for everybody? So
the first floor will be a transit center. So really offering like more information to travelers and a place for our drivers to take a break. It's already a major transit stop in Eureka, but there'll be some seating and bathrooms, and it'll be staffed. So
coffee.
There's
mango gelato.
There should be mango gelato. There's gonna be a little cafe space that we're gonna be trying to attract a tenant for.
Well, that's cool.
And then and there'll be some office space for Humboldt Transit Authority staff. And then on the upper floors, there'll be, I think it's 42 units of housing, but I could be slightly off on that.
How many stories?
Around I think it's 4 stories total.
Wow.
That part is the City of Eureka project. So they're leading it, and then Danco's actually doing the building.
When will it be done? Next year? Or?
We're breaking ground like in the next month.
Mhm.
So I believe it'll be early next year that it's done, but it could be even faster.
Yeah. It just seems like these other ones have gone up so quick, and they have not.
They've actually taken quite a while. Yeah.
Perceptibly, they look, oh, wow, they're done. No, not quite. But
Yeah, there's a lot of interior fittings.
Yeah.
And I've heard from builders, incidentally, that, you know, while it's more efficient to build inside a big box, right? Because
Mhm.
some of the exterior things are done. And
Mhm.
making apartments is not that efficient, you know, because they still have to have a kitchen, a bathroom. Everything has to have
It's all got the same.
all
Yeah.
the fixtures, like of any size of homes. So
Right.
building smaller apartments doesn't necessarily reduce the costs exponentially. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not actually a builder. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a housing gap then. I mean, this
Yeah.
is not going to
We sure do.
go away.
Yeah, and we've had, sadly, we've had a really serious reduction in funding for Section 8 vouchers, and that doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon.
Wow.
So, this housing will help, and I think we're in a place where a lot of important services that are lifeline services for people are being curtailed. And
Wow.
there's a program actually right now that a special Section 8 voucher program to help people who were homeless, and there's no renewed funding for that particular program, and no expansion of the list of people. So people who are on the list to get a housing voucher are not going to be
Is
getting
that a
one
result
for
of state funding or federal or both?
It's federal.
Wow.
Yeah. So that and some other areas, it's going to be hard to kind of make up some of those gaps. So I think our community, one thing I've been telling people is like the bad news is we got to just kind of brace and hold on as best we can. And I don't know that any of us have easy solutions for things like that. So we do still have a housing shortage and a housing gap, but we're working on it in all these ways. Yeah.
Yeah. So the three themes that kind of come forward on this show have been homelessness, and then housing, and healthcare. So we kind of just touched on the first one. Do you want to talk about homelessness real quick?
Sure.
What we can do, or what can we do? What can we do?
Yeah.
We know what you could do.
I mean,
within reason.
I mean, it's so clearly linked to housing. There are some folks who I think are the most difficult to serve, who are unable to be housed without kind of constant services. And so we've seen a couple of facilities open in Eureka or the greater Eureka area in the last couple of years in partnership with the county, and that have provided just a level of supervision and support that provides caseworkers 24/7, assistance with taking medication, things like that. People still have to voluntarily be willing to go there. Sometimes, depending on the circumstances, there can be court orders for very specific cases or guardianships, conservatorship, that kind of thing. But in most cases, we in California in particular really balance the rights of individuals and prioritize people retaining those rights, while also compelling treatment sometimes. So when there's co-occurring behavioral health things like people have a substance use disorder or they're dealing with mental health needs, that can be complicated.
Sure.
So I think we've made big progress that's kind of hard to visually see around homelessness, because many folks will see, especially if they spend a lot of time in towns, some of the same folks over and over and over again, who are often frequent flyers with needing emergency medical care or other services. So it can be hard to feel like we're making progress. But then we'll get reports from Department of Health and Human Services about the number of people housed, for example, with these special Section 8 vouchers, and the number is high. It's like over 90 people just in Eureka. So, significant gains through programs like that, but they're pretty resource intensive. So as far as what all of us can do, I mean, there's programs where people provide food and essential like frontline care. And I think you can support those in our community. But a lot of the systemic issues are things like poverty and, inflation and
human nature
and people having very individualized, difficult circumstances that compound, and that's hard to get at the root of. So,
How do we get those? Those are the toughies.
I think people often, it's one of the areas where folks often have strong feelings about, like, if only we did this, then we could solve everything. And that there's, I'm here to tell folks that There's no magic if only we did this answer. It's a whole world of interdependent things that we have to do.
My last guest just said, do something.
Yeah.
Pick something.
Yeah, pick something and do it. I agree.
Yeah. And get busy. Yeah. Volunteer.
And the more some things you do or learn about, the more you realize how interconnected everything is.
Especially here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, 7 layers of Kevin Bacon. Two layers of Humboldt.
7 layers of Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. You'll have to look it up later.
Okay, I will. Yeah, I'm going to put
it's
in my notes. Yeah.
somehow everybody's connected to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Nick will look it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Or somebody will.
Gosh, now I wonder how I'm connected to
How am I
Kevin
connected
Bacon.
to Kevin?
Yeah.
What? So before we talk about your legacy, let's talk about roller derby one more time.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Seems like that's your kind of your jam.
Yeah.
How is roller derby played? What are the rules? And can we go see y'all skate at Redwood Acres?
Absolutely.
When's the season? Is it year long?
It is a year-long season. We take a 2-month summer break. So right now we're in the last month of our summer break, and then it starts back up again in August. So there's games in September, October, and November at Redwood Acres, and they're so much fun. We have a band. We have a DJ.
Paul Brasou on announcer.
Paul Brasou doing amazing announcing. We have they're always double headers. So we always have 2 games back to back.
Is it a league? Is there separate teams that are here all local, or are they?
Yeah, we have.
Bring them in from somewhere else?
Yeah, so we have our charter team, which is our most competitive team, the Redwood Rollers, and that's who I skate with. I've been skating for 10 years, so I finally worked my way up to the Rollers.
One more time on your nickname, what was it called?
Braun-Luc Picard.
Oh, Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes, everyone calls me Braun.
Braun, I like it. Yeah. How'd you get that?
I love TNG. Yes, I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I vetted a bunch of names. My list of potential names is long and very funny, I think. And I love a good pun. So, but I'm not like, there's a lot of times people choose a name about being fast or agile. And I'm honestly, as a skater, I'm not that fast or agile. I mean, I'm pretty good, but
you got the Braun thing going.
I'm tough.
Do you like hurt people? You're out there hurting everybody?
I don't like to hurt people. I just like to hold it down. Yeah. So you asked how the game is played. So we have 5 players on each team, and this is played on a flat track, so an oval, kind of looks like a roller skating rink. And we have one person from each team who's trying to score points they have a star in their head. They're called the jammer. They score points by passing the other skaters.
Right.
And so when you're a blocker, like I am, you're trying to play both defense and offense basically at the same time. So you're trying to make sure your jammer can get through, doing some strategic offense. So a little hitting and not a little, there's usually a good amount of hitting, but
jostling.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's places in the body where you can't hit people. So you can no longer punch people in the face.
Or the groin.
Sad to say. Or the groin, correct. Or the middle of the back. And you can't trip people. So you can get penalties for all those things. And I think it's, meant to keep people safe.
Yeah.
So good. Even though we fall down and sometimes we hurt ourselves, one of the things I like to tell people who have this perception that it's a really brutal, like mean kind of hitting sport is that it's super family friendly. Yes, we're playing a full contact sport, but we really try to play it with consideration for one another.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So before we talk about your legacy, what you want to leave behind and what we're going to say at your celebration.
My celebration of life.
That one.
Okay.
You're going, I'm not having one of those.
Yeah, I was like, I'm 42, but okay. I mean, you never know.
Pretty young still.
Yeah.
What do you want to see for Humboldt County? I mean, if you were to dream big, what would you like top 3, 5 things that you'd love to see manifest before it's over?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. Top 3 to 5 things. I'd love to see a lot of the old and beautiful homes and commercial buildings like fully restored and brought back to life. I feel like we have a lot of housing and a lot of commercial space that's sort of underutilized and needs to be either just fixed up or transformed. It's also hard to get public dollars for private buildings. And, this picture you brought out shows when we had redevelopment dollars through the state, which are which helped make public investments in beautiful public spaces and some investments in restoring some private buildings, but for public benefit.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to see that. I would love to see some thoughtful but ongoing development of the waterfront.
Ooh.
The city of Eureka did develop the waterfront specific plan after I left the council, and it has some cool vision in there. I'd love to see more trail connectivity, whether that's the Great Redwood Trail or a combination of local trails, and for people to really truly be able to use that both for transportation and recreation, just build out that system a little more.
Good one.
A big one for me is traffic safety and road safety for all users of the roadway. It's pretty alarming how many fatalities and injuries we have, particularly bicyclists and pedestrians, but also motorists.
Are we speaking about Eureka specifically?
Yeah, but Humboldt County ranks really high for that in the state.
101 is really gnarly down southern Humboldt.
Even like percentage based, it's not just that we have, no matter kind of how you parse the data, we rank really high and also high for DUIs. So that is a tough nut to crack because a lot of it is engineering solutions that are both costly and controversial. You can't really enforce your way out of a lot of those problems long term. Yeah. There's just never going to be enough people at any given time to solve those problems.
Yeah, I work downtown and have to navigate over to Old Town. Just walking is like, I'm looking both ways 3 times.
Absolutely.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. I bike to Old Town to the courthouse downtown all the time and walk there. And it can be scary. And I think folks are just rushing and distracted and maybe used to a time when maybe it was a little bit less traffic. And
or on their phones.
We could all be on their phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could all stand to kind of take a deep breath and just give a little bit of grace to others.
Like my friend Dave Holpert, the poet, last night at a pizza night, he said, I get in my car, I have a routine. I sit down, I put my phone on Spotify, and I set it over on my passenger seat, and then I drive. And I don't answer calls. I don't text, and I just chill out.
Yeah.
I go, dude,
such a good idea.
I could learn from that.
I've been trying to put it in the compartment that's between my 2 front seats, so I actually have to physically close something.
Oh.
Because otherwise it's like, I'll just maybe I'll listen to the next podcast, or it's like there's such a temptation.
Oh, look. It's my brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's easy to do.
And then the last one I want to emphasize, because you said 3 to 5, so I'm going to go all the way to 5.
Go for 5.
Is economic development. And it's hard to know how to, that's an area where we're really spending some time doing research about, it's about time for us to really evaluate what our strengths are and what the opportunities are.
Right.
Again, we've had several iterations of economic development plans for the region that have been very helpful. And there's some good work being done in that department, but now we have to kind of put those plans into action.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know, like, if there's not going to be one silver bullet of a new industry.
Wait, Amazon's not going to do it? Doggone it.
I think that's going to be a lot of the different things that are opportunities and strengths for us that we just have to amplify a little bit more. And folks may have to, compromise when it comes to.
Well, I think this whole thing's about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't. At the rate we're going, we're not creating a lot of jobs and kids and grandkids, and it's like probably my pet peeve is that person that goes, I don't give a crap about economic development and it's not in my backyard. And that's so many reasons why one might say that, many of which are like probably reprehensible in my book. But that's just my 2 cents before we sign off.
Yeah. I mean, I think we also have a lot of people who are out of the workforce for whatever reason, proportionate to our population, either because they're retired, they're seniors, or they're disabled, they're too young, although, our childbirth rate isn't really growing. So we actually do, to some degree, need to attract workers here who are going to work for a while.
And have jobs that they can go work at.
Have jobs they can go work at, and who are, kind of going to be in the workforce for a while. And that's kind of part of our society that we need to help keep us going.
Wow.
Yeah.
We want to help you get there. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just small stuff, right?
Real quick on your legacy. What are we going to say at your funeral? What's your tombstone going to say?
She was pretty fun but nerdy.
Okay. That'll work.
She was a lot.
She's a lot.
And I do want Bronlick Picard on my tombstone somewhere. It can be like a byline or something.
You do a little picture of Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
What a great actor.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that show. Yeah. Natalie, thanks for being here.
Really a pleasure. Thanks.
Really appreciate you.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, hey, if you're just joining us, you're really late, but that's okay. You can make comments. You can send gold bullion. We have a Venmo page. We have ways for you to participate. And look for us on Access Humboldt, YouTube, Spotify. And next week, I'll have a voice. It'll be better.
Your voice sounds like you're like a singer in a jazz band in a smoky lounge.
I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could. Let me, don't tempt me because I might sing before we go. Anyway, 100% Humboldt signing off. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you.